Alright, what's going on everybody, this is Sam from andbet. In this video we'll be doing the PFL 5 predictions, the picks and the bets that I'm taking. I'll be doing this one real quick, just to upload this faster, as we're quite close to the time of the event. I do have the regular material if you're following me and you're a returning subscriber. That's coming up to Patreon for this video particularly. And yeah, with no further delay, let me just real quick. I'll be running through the picks and the bets, then I'll be just breaking down real quick. Alright, so between Joao Zeferino and Jason Ponet, I'm picking Zeferino and betting Ponet, very small bet. Nikolay Aleksakhin versus Ray Cooper, picking and betting Aleksakhin. ALexey Kunchenko versus Sadibou Sy, picking and betting C. Magomedkerimov versus Curtis Millender, I'm picking Kerimov, not betting the fight. Antonio Carlos Jr. versus Vinny Magalhaes, I'm picking and betting Junior, small bet. Marthin hAmlet versus Cory Hendricks, pick and bet hAmlet. I took him in an early market, my biggest bet here. Emiliano Sordi versus Dan Spohn, pick and bet Sordi, small bet. Cezar Ferreira versus Chris Camozzi, pick and betting Ferreira, very small bet as well, you know. So what I'm doing here basically on these small bets like Ferreira, Carlos Jr. And Sordi, I'm throwing them on a round robin together with hAmlet. Alright, then I have these bets on hAmlet, like I said, and the other guys are straight bets, and some of them I'm parlaying into. Alright, guys, so between Joao Zeferino and Jason Ponet, the thing is that Joao Zeferino is the better grappler, is the bigger man, stronger. Jason Ponet is quite a good striker, but it's more like a technical guy, likes to use volume, but not much of a knockout artist. It's going to be difficult for him in this matchup to match Zeferino's grappling, but he can. He's very experienced. Despite his not impressive record, has quite some losses, many losses by submission. So I do think Zeferino gonna finish Ponet, but what happens if he doesn't? This is the main question. You know, Ponet has decent takedown defense, he has good escapes, you know, he's improving throughout the years. I think he could survive, and if he does, it could be a very close match. So that's why I'm taking a small bet on Ponet at plus 400. Nikolay Aleksakhin and Ray Cooper. Aleksakhin basically is a very strong kickboxer, heavy-handed, very accurate, great takedown defense, super tough to take and hold down. Ray Cooper is the guy that wouldn't care much about that. He's gonna try to implement his game plan, come forward, push the pace, swing heavily, and try to take and hold Aleksakhin down. I'm not sure he can. I think most likely Aleksakhin keeps this standing. If he gets taken down one or another time, he's gonna get back up, and he's gonna probably be better on the feet. That's why I like Aleksakhin there, a small bet on him. ALexey Kunchenko versus Sadibou Sy. Kunchenko is basically Aleksakhin, you know, it's very interesting. They both train together, practically the same fighter, just difference in ages. And Aleksakhin is a little bit better, in my opinion, you know, not only because he's younger, but he's a better wrestler as well. So Sy is the guy, this guy is ridiculous for division, extremely long, you know, 80 inches as a welterweight. He's not a small one, he's a big guy. He has the power, he has the accuracy, he doesn't have the wrestling, but neither wrestles much Kunchenko. Offensively especially, he's an excellent defensive wrestler. Offensively, not so much. Sorry about the noise, guys. So Sy to me gets it done, because he keeps the range and does more damage. Magomedkerimov and Curtis Millender, it's an easy one to break down. Kerimov is a wrestling specialist. Curtis Millender struggles against wrestler, that's basically it. You can bet Millender in a prop bet by TKO, that may be interesting if they open up, so stay tuned for that. Rather than that, if you want to parlay Kerimov, I don't blame you, but to me it's too expensive, so that's why I'm not doing it. Antonio Carlos Jr. versus Vinny Magalhaes. It's basically the young versus the old lion, practically the same fighters one more time. Carlos Jr. is a little bit bigger, faster, more athletic, younger, like I said. Magalhaes on a decline. Pretty decent everywhere, you know, especially on the ground. He's a ground specialist, but, you know, he struggles a little bit with his striking, his cardio. So does Carlos Jr. But I think at this point, Carlos Jr. is the safest pick here. It's going to be quite tough for Magalhaes to take this to the ground. I think Carlos Jr. will be the one outlanding Magalhaes. He could take him down and control him. He has enough BJJ skills to grapple with Magalhaes. So I think Antonio Carlos Jr. there's a little bit more value than at minus 250, something like this. and Magalhaes plus 200 would go is Carlos Jr. Marthin hAmlet versus Cory Hendricks. This is my biggest bet of the card. hAmlet is a strong wrestler, basically, big guy. Cory Hendricks, he's a okay fighter, and I don't mean this bad. So he's a okay striker, okay wrestler. Not good, not bad takedown defense, but I think he's gonna get dominated here. Gonna be hAmlet shooting and just controlling from top, maybe finishing him again with an arm triangle choke or something. So I think it's gonna be a pretty easy win for hAmlet here. Emiliano Sordi versus Dan Spohn. Sordi is a little bit, more powerful, more aggressive. Spohn is a decent counter striker. Doesn't pack much power. He's a guy that doesn't quite push the pace. More fights more like the back foot, trying to land some power shots. He could land on Sordi. Sordi has been TKO'd before, but I don't think that's much likely. I think Sordi gonna be making quite competitive on the feet, and he could shoot and dominate Spohn on the ground. That's why he's actually a heavy favorite. At least to me, he's a bigger favorite because of the wrestling. He's a good grappler. So to me, Sordi makes it competitive on the feet, can even finish Spohn or take it to the ground and then dominate from there. Cezar Ferreira versus Chris Camozzi. Camozzi is a guy that's known by his toughness, good chin, etc., but lack of power, lack of strength, athleticism, and etc. Ferreira is a guy that's super powerful, athletic, has good power on the hands as well, but his forte is his wrestling, his grappling. I think he does that against Camozzi, basically. Takes to the ground, holds Camozzi down. Camozzi, he has decent takedown defense, but it's going to be tough to stop Ferreira and to escape from the bottom. So unless Ferreira looks at the mirror and does nothing, which could happen, Ferreira is not a consistent guy. So this is quite a tricky bet. But I think Ferreira somehow revamped his career here in light heavyweight division. Let's see. And I think he can, if he doesn't cut much weight, actually it's a very good stuff for him. Because then he can keep a better output. He's not facing a big puncher. So this is his fight, but still, Ferreira is not the guy to trust too much. So I'm also being quite careful with this bet. That's why I'm throwing very little money. Alright guys, so this will do for this fight, for this card, sorry. If you wish to support me on Patreon, take a look on the future videos. But that's what keeps this channel running. Alright, thank you guys for watching. Hope you catch this weekend. I'll talk to you next time. This is Sam from Zero Bets, bringing the best, most consistent and transparent betting strategy for you.